Hello, hello. Just getting stuff set up here. There's a puppy cam in case anybody cares. Let's see. Chat loaded. And we'll click a couple more buttons here. Figured I'd goof around with OPXY again. And was just doing a video on ChordMaps2 and thought it would be a fun little thing to mess with and see what we come up with. So let's go new. We'll clear this out and I got the MIDI set up, so we can try and record chords and stuff. For those who don't know, ChordMaps2 is basically your music theory in an app form, and it's pretty cool. I haven't used it in a while, but I was like, I need to start kind of doing more than just one thing at a time. I mean, I mix and match stuff when I have the time, but or when I'm not streaming. But I'm like, it's fine. We can. What am I looking for? Anyway, we want drum. Yeah, let's go over that. Just do a house track to begin with. Let's get rid of metronome. Yeah, well, whoops, making a mess. Check BPM. I kind of want to go, let's go slower. Pick like 80. All right, so what I should be able to do here, this is the bass, so it's going to be mono, but right now, what these little yellow tabs mean are what notes it's sending out. It's sending notes out on channel 1, MIDI channel 1. So right now it's sending bass and chords. So if I want to record a bass that will line up with like some melody or something or chords, I'll probably want to have bass on, but I don't need to double up the notes that are getting sent. So basically I could just figure out like what I want to play for a pattern here. Let's start with chords though, because I think that'll be more fun. And if anybody hasn't used this before, you get kind of like these different slots, which are the octaves it's going to play in. After you've played the chord, you also get like the different notes that you can play here as that are part of the chord. So it does like some interesting things to split up a performance. So like it's more just like kind of like it'll take it away from, I think, more rhythmically usually. So I'm not always thinking like I'll think like what scale I'm in or something, but like right now we're in F, we can switch our root notes around and trying to listen to which ones seem like they are interesting here. We'll kind of just play something out. Maybe here. I think we gotta stay the right side. So we got 1 bar. I'll clearly need more than that for what I'm kind of noodling out already. Let's go. We'll just start with 2 bars and see where this goes. Oh, I didn't make it 2 bars. Had to hit plus. The number 2 is not going to help. All right, so we're in record. And boy, that feels like I want to be. Let's stop. So, noodled that out kind of quick, and we can see it's. Well, I thought I was going to play more notes. Okay, it is. All right. So if we want to go to the bass, I can turn chords off and just go to bass here. We're not in record yet. I know I keep, as a joke, I had a Crazy Wabbit. I had somebody, I don't know, it was a joke. Somebody reached out on, I had one YouTube short video that I posted like 4 years ago of my 2 dogs. And somebody like reached out a week and a half ago and was like, I need to see more videos of your dogs. So I posted a few, and they get far more views than anything I do. And I was like, you know what? It'll be funny. I'll just put a camera on the 2 dogs, and we'll see if anybody's interested, which it seems like people are. But anyway, they are totally passed out right now and just enjoying sleeping. Yeah, they're sisters, same mom and dad, but 2 different litters. The brown one is Zoe. She's 8. The one that's more the black and white is Emmy, and she's 10. All right, let's set this to 2 bars as well. So, I know we've got the arpeggiator in here. Let's see if it actually does anything. I don't know what I need. I think it needs like a clock or something to work. That's probably why it's not. Wait. Okay, yeah, it's not working. Let's see. It's been a while since I've used this app, so I mean, I recorded the one video just to kind of show it in case anybody's like, oh. Yeah, I was like, just the problem is that if I use this over USB-C, I can't hook up the OP1 field because I've used the USB-C here. I could have grabbed the stuff to hook this up over the Roland UM1, but I was like, we'll just kind of goof around with it like this is. Dude, well, if you got ChordMaps, you absolutely should. I did videos like 4 or 5 years ago showing how to like sync it up over Bluetooth and with UM1 and stuff. Is this monophonic? Yeah, okay, that's why it's sounding weird. All right, let's grab a different instrument. I have not checked out tonality. I'll have to. I do have scalar, but I don't know. The thing I do like about ChordMaps is it gives you like in a pretty dense. I mean, it is a very dense interface, but it gives you a lot of stuff you can do with it really quick. but maybe we'll switch over. Chord maps looks like you need to know music theory, but I don't know music theory. I know enough to know, like, basically it's telling you, like, first chord, second chord, third, fourth, fifth. I think these, if I remember correctly, these are all major. The ones with the hash in front of them, I think, are the minor chords, or minors and sharps. Yeah, I mean, I figured it'd just be playing around with it for a few minutes and see. Yeah, you can go Z, so you just get the big. I'm trying to remember my way around here a bit. It's all too, like, let's go for some keys. So, be jammin'. What's the difference with tonality? I'm curious. Let's go 2 bars. Yep. If I haven't really been deep into, besides Scalar 2 coming out, like I haven't gotten like super deep into a lot of the iPad apps in the last couple of years. So, yeah, I guess like if there's other stuff I should check out, definitely hit me up in comments or something. I gotta learn my way around for what's out there. Sounds like it's out of sync, but. Let's go to strum. This there is a strum mode on here. I figured how to get into it. Because you can turn the, is it this? Yeah, I mean, that's like all kinds of crazy stuff in here. I could just record that in, right? Now, because it's quantized, yeah, it's not gonna, you have to turn off, take the quantization way down. See if that sounds right. There we go. I'll check it out, man. Not right now, but certainly sounds interesting. Wait, I don't want Z mode. Yeah, I know, like, you got like all these different modes for chord maps, which are, this is where I'm like, my head explodes, because I'm like, I think there's like a couple of them, like, all right, I can see what's going on here, but when you start getting into like some of these other ones where it's like, oh my goodness, there is a ton of stuff I don't know about music theory, and it'll definitely keep you busy. Yeah, I know like these are variations, but like I remember, like, what is it? You have to hit the question mark, and then they're like, oh yeah, like this one's the jazz variation, and I don't have memorized. One of these is jazz. I forget, because I haven't like loaded this up in years. But I've had a few folks asking me like questions about iPad apps and stuff, and I was like, okay. Yeah, there's like a ton of stuff to know, or just wing it. That's what I usually do. This is any good. Let's get some hats going. Oh, I wasn't fast enough. See, tonality is much easier to use and it works on the iPhone too, unlike Scalar. Yeah, I wish Scalar, they had like a way to set up, I know it'd be a ton of pages, but it does have like a few things that would be nice to be able to do on the iPhone. Why are we... What did I do wrong? Oh, because I don't have chord on? Right. Timing was terrible. This is one of the things I don't care for. So if I hold it down, it's copied. Then click to get rid of it, and then was it hold the page? No, I'm doing it wrong. Just gonna get better at doing the timing here. What's the copies to hold down? So we got this. We copied it. Now if I go here, does that paste it? Okay, it looks like it pasted it. Now is the length is right. Okay, I just need to slow down. Did I make this one monophonic maybe? That's why it might sound weird. Sounds super cheesy. So that one, copy, paste, delete that. Did I miss one? Nope, it's back here. Copy, paste. Not a fan of the sound exactly, but it's kind of funny to me. At least not for this track. Yes, I mean, I do have Scalar. I just haven't used ChordMaps in a while, so I was like, you know, I'll mess with it. But we can switch over. Let's see. We've got, no, wrong one. Scalar 2. Now, the question will be, does it actually load up correctly? I gotta get the MIDI out configured. Back. No, it's MIDI's down here. MIDI output here. I'm curious if it will take what we just played. If we play this. No, I got a MIDI loop now. Let's turn the output back on. So if we go detect, got a MIDI panic, or did I tap on it? to hit record, right? This might not be sending MIDI. So devices. System. We got it set to both. Active track is 1. Shouldn't need to advertise. MIDI. Why is it not sending MIDI over? It's an excellent question. Oh, let's go to no. I should go no. Both. 1. Echo is on, which is probably not what I want, but let's go off on echo. Active track sends to 1. Notes, clock, notes, other. What else am I missing here? Yeah, like I've been able to get a scaler working a few times. Sometimes it likes to fight with me, so I don't know. As far as Michael, XY versus a tracker like the M8 or Polyend Mini for idea work, and also a augmented, mainly synth album project came from 4-track tape back in the day to all DAW recorded on many Pro Studio albums. Are you just asking what I would suggest for the OP XY versus the M8? I do have the Polyend Mini right here. Just been checking it out. So your question is which versus which? I'm gonna have to say, just from a price standpoint, the OPXY is ridiculously expensive. Unless you specifically know that you want it. I think you can get a lot of other cool gear. I am an M8 guy for sure. I'm starting to get my head wrapped around the Tracker Mini. It is, I'll put it this way, it's interesting, and it's got some things that it can do that I think the M8 needs to learn to do, but I don't know. At the moment, I just don't know enough about the Tracker Mini to super advise it. It's fairly straightforward, but it's got the kind of I don't know. The M8 just is super advanced for some of the stuff you can do with it that I think the Tracker Mini needs to learn how to do. For ease of use and learning, it's a good question. I don't know. I've done a ton of videos on the SP404 Mark II, which is right here. I usually tell people my advice is usually the MPC if you want something that's pretty it's mostly well thought out. Like any of this stuff, it's got like weird bugs. Firmware 3 definitely is doing a lot of stuff to make it easier to learn. My fear with the trackers in general, whether it's the M8 or Polyend Mini, is it's not my fear, but like just in advising people to go to them, it's very, I don't know, mathy, very organized, very kind of plotted out. So if you're coming from working with tape, and I don't know if you still want to work in a tape style fashion, the OP1 is certainly would be pretty familiar to you. I find people, I'll just even let me just, we'll get both of these here for a second. So when discussing the OP1 field versus the XY, I would say this is like the OP1 really is about your intent for making music. And if you're working in tape or on the OP1, you either get it right, you learn to live with whatever mistakes you made, or you keep practicing and making it work. Whereas the OPXY, I'm going to put it in the category of like the SP404 Mark II and the MPC. You can get into quite a lot of detail and really edit notes to your heart's content, and you don't have to be like that prescriptive about practicing and playing perfectly, because you can go in and edit, and if you make a mistake, you can, copy and paste notes around, you can shuffle them around and move them. So it depends on are you looking to get in there and do that level of detail and stuff. I find most people who are like performance musicians tend to kind of like the OP1 field. People that don't want to get into like that kind of stuff, I think they're, barring the price of the OPXY, like I think that's a bit easier to get into. There's a lot of weird restrictions or things that you can't do with the OPXY though. I think if you're just looking for something different, the SP404 Mark II is, I would say, a excellent utility device. Like it does a lot of stuff pretty well. It can function as an audio interface. It's partially works as a mixer. It can record up to 16 minutes per pad. So I mean, you can just record sessions on it and do all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, like I don't know, MPC, if you're really looking for more of that DAW-like experience and you want like the physical controls. I don't know. It's a tough one, but if you want portability with sequencing, this is pretty hard to beat for portability. If you're into like computers and stuff, I would say check out like you can get plenty of trackers on the computer. Like you can go check out like Renoise or something. Like you just have to want to be okay with working with numbers a lot. The Polyend Tracker Mini is also pretty. It's as I said, like it's a good alternative. I'm kind of learning where the finger positions go for kind of managing it, but it works quite well. I think it has. You can only get up to about 5-ish minutes of audio into it per project, and you can only have up to 3 synths working. It's 8 tracks of your audio and or synths, and then you've got another 8 tracks of MIDI. The difference with the M8 is you've only got 8 tracks, so they can be synths, they can be samples. It streams all of your audio off of the SD card, so in some ways you get like infinite amount of sample time on it. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm helping you at all. It's hard to tell. And I don't know why I am not getting. So if I send the MIDI out, it's just looping it back out and going crazy. But when I hit detect, it's not getting the notes. How do I find out if it's actually this is? There's a setting in here somewhere to say what notes get sent out. It's been a while. It has like a view. It shows all the tracks and then what MIDI channel they go to. This might just not be grabbing it. Is it like under here? Shift. It's always like goofy secret menus. It's not there. Like if I... It's not sending. I think I'm just not sending anything over. Back. It's not MTP devices. I don't think it's under devices. Uh-oh. Dropping frames like crazy again. High pass, velocity, tuning. I'm gonna get like bored of trying to look through this in a second. It's under config, voices. So if we go MIDI, okay, they're all off. That would explain why we're not sending anything. No reason to send track 1. If channel 1 will get bass notes. Track 4, channel 2. Okay. The OPXY cannot export individual stems. So if you want to do it, you're going to either have to mute tracks and then record them individually, or just mix everything on it. The M8 can definitely stem out for you. It will create stems. The SP404 Mark II will create stems for you. The MPC will create stems. I don't know if the Tracker Mini can create stems, but I suspect that it can. I'm trying to think what else can get you stems that I've got. Yeah. So I for the price, yeah, I don't think they're going to let you. The thing that I would actually hope that they would do, and we'll see, is to get you multiple audio outs over USB-C so that you could then just go each track individually, route it out to your DAW, and then just record it that way. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so we're sending all kinds of stuff over. Doesn't look like I'm getting a whole lot. We stop though. So it's saying A minor scale. I'm curious to see if we use A minor, like does it actually sound okay? Let's go back here. Let's go switch these for the moment, because I just don't want to create any loops. Just see how it sounds. Well, that's not what I want. I thought I turned echo off, but tempo. want tap tempo. Darn it, I'm going too fast. MIDI input. Why? Gotta love MIDI loops. They make everything so much fun. Not that, not that. What the heck did I do to get in there just a second ago? System, MIDI, clock. Oh, probably need that set to out. Okay, so we're not having it take it back in as well. All right. Let's go just create. We'll go for track 8. We're on track 8. Hit new. So we don't have anything that was recorded there. We can unmute it. And play like something different, I guess. It's just recording. What the heck is going on? It's playing. Oh, because it's sending MIDI out and then it's pulling it back over. This is wild. Let's just delete this track. Okay. So now I don't want it sending. This is where I get go back to config. Turn these off. I try and do these like experiments and then I'm like, this feels harebrained. To turn ideas into usable exterior album tracks, I think you got to decide if you want to just work within the OPXY or, as I said, like you can, I guess, sync it up to Ableton Live and just kind of record one track at a time. It's very like old style MPC, like 60 or 2000 or any of those, where you're just going to have to track it out one or two tracks at a time. You do have on the, I'll just disconnect it for a second. Here you can configure this second TRS jack from the bottom to be a second output, and you can route your audio to it. So you could technically do 2 tracks at a time, I guess, if you want to do it that way. So because you could do like 2 from your main out, and then you can get into like panning stuff left and right if you want to go mono outputs, but to get 4 tracks. But yeah, it's like it's a hassle. So it kind of depends on what you want to do. I know a lot of people would use the OPXY, for example, to use the internal voices, and they would use the internal voices to just kind of record stuff and then switch it out to be MIDI output and then just record the MIDI out, because you can set each track to have its own MIDI output and record the MIDI and then go revoice it on something else. Oh, looks like Zoe's up. Dr. Dracula, any noticeable improvements? I haven't played, I did install the latest update. I haven't like tried copying over anything like crazy over to it yet. So I have not, I can't say like, oh yeah, like this is like way better. It didn't look like they added any new features that I was going to go check out. So, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, this is reminding me of all the reasons why I kind of stopped using the iPad to do MIDI stuff, but I should get back into it because there's a lot of cool effects, synths, and sequencers and stuff to work with. So yeah, Michael, I don't know, like I don't know what to suggest for you. Other than I think the MPC, like get an MPC 1, they're super cheap. You don't even need the 1 Plus unless you're like, I specifically need Bluetooth or something. But I thought MPC 1 would be a great device to go dip your toes into and go check out and see if you like it. It's not quite as portable, but I mean, you can get an external battery for it. The MPC Live is pretty good price too. The only problem is you're probably going to need to replace the battery, and I think that's a couple $100 unless you know somebody that's willing to make you one. The SP404 Mark II is also not that bad to work with for certain types of things. So it doesn't know what key we're in or scale at all, which is probably no, I went to go auto. It just is like, we're probably C undefined, which is possible, or just has no idea. So I guess we're kind of stuck with scalar. Try voicing 1. And the notes I've picked aren't that terrible. We should be able to get USB audio out of here too, so we could also mute some of this stuff. And how do we clear it again? Clear state, detect. We can go to source audio, record. I don't know that any of what it's doing is correct, but okay, let's probably say that that's enough. I don't know, I think this is a C major. Doesn't seem... You can absolutely do that, Michael. So you have to... I keep having to remind myself. So you go to this like pen icon and you go to config, and at the bottom it says MIDI, and if you scroll through, you've got track 1 through 16. So you've got you got 8 instrument tracks here, and then you've got your 8 like effects or whatever tracks, and it will just send MIDI out for any of these. And you can just route each track to whichever output you'd like to send it to. So you can definitely, like, again, like you could use it as just like a sketch pad for some ideas, but not have to necessarily think like it's your main thing. That's how I know a lot of people worked with the OPZ, because they're like, the sound effects and synths are terrible. On the other hand, I mean, there's like some pretty nice effects and things that you can do in here that some of them will affect the audio and some affect the like instrument voicing and stuff. So for example, I don't know how well if let's see, we'll go mute everything but the 2 drum channels. So if I play these, I can go over to like this effect thing, and on the right half of this octave, I'm affecting like all the drums together, and on the left half, it's going to affect any of the instruments. So I can like hit this and record these as like effects. But like some of them are making audio effects versus MIDI effects. So like I wouldn't be able to tell you like without experimenting, like what is it actually doing. Like this is silencing everything, but I don't know if it's preventing the MIDI triggers to go through. I'd have to, you know, load stuff up and start experimenting with it. Where like some of them are changing the actual instrument. Now, how interesting is that for some of the things that you're doing? I don't know. But like it being able to kind of have it flip up or make like a break or a fill or something for you might be important. But there's also, if I come in and I'll keep doing this. So if I go like unmute some more of the track here, if I go back in, again, if I go to the right side, some of these are going to be, again, doing audio effects on these, and some of them are going to like pitch the audio up or down an octave or whatever. So like this sounds like a gated effect, not something that is, so it sounds like an audio effect, not a MIDI effect, if that makes sense. Then you get the brain that this will allow you to, if you've got your either program in or it knows what your root note and scale is, you can use it to pitch stuff up and down. For what I've got, I'll just go new. I was just goofing around. So I wasn't like trying to make anything in particular. Let's adjust the BPM down. Go here. So I'm just recording. Just record something and just to kind of have to play with. Mute that. All right, so if I go to the brain here, let's say I'm gonna take it off of auto, we're gonna go manual. Let's say we go like F minor, maybe. So it might be hard to see on the screen here, but it's actually showing me what keys are in F minor, which for me, I don't like have all of the scales and root notes memorized. So like that's handy for me to know. So I don't know, I'm just going to noodle something out real quick. So as long as I keep playing notes that are within the scale, and I'll just do this as really quick. So if I'm in the brain now, and if I'm still playing everything in F minor, I can pick a different note and it's going to pitch it up or down and keep everything in the scale. So now it's pitched everything to B major, it says, or down to B major, G Locrian. And you can record these note changes. It will, for the test that I did, it will take and record those patterns out. So like I can very quickly, this is just one bar, but if I take and make this, for example, so basically what this is saying is like each 16th note is a 16th note. I can make it like a quarter note instead, so it'll go slower. So now if I want, I can program in, actually let's figure out. So if I come in, we'll record 4 of these are going to be in F minor. I can then say I want to go down to B major. I can put that in there, make the B major. So we go F minor, B major, G Locrian, and C sharp Lydian. I've now just like made what is a 1-bar, now 4-bar loop. Now, whether it sounds good or not depends on whether or not you like it or not, but you can do these types of tricks on the M8 for sure. I suspect that there's some things you can do with the Polyend tracker as well that are pretty flexible. For me, I'll just take like 1 or 2 bars and flip them into something different. And then again, like you can record this stuff out as well for like these different kinds of effects. So let's say I want to come in and do a similar thing. Even though it's showing me 1 bar here, I can record in these different effects. And just kind of mess with it. So, like, I'm not doing a whole, like, I haven't spent a whole lot of time programming anything, but with just a few simple tricks, I can get this to play, you know, start turning like 1-bar loop into 4 bars or 8 or, you know, 64 or whatever. Yeah, so some of this, like, again, I'm saying like this specific effect, I don't know what it's going to do. It'll send out the MIDI note because these are all just MIDI under the hood, but like you're not going to have those effects necessarily. Whereas anything that you do here with this brain to do the pitch shifting up and down, that will get output as MIDI. As far as I've seen it, it'll go out correctly. So, it just depends on like what you're trying to do. But if you're playing straight into any of these tracks, you'll get the MIDI notes and then you can record that MIDI out to your DAW and then go revoice things. Or, you know, if you wanted to take the time from your DAW, you can then have it just play each track individually and get the audio back out from the OPXY into your DAW. So hopefully that makes sense. I haven't done like any of that stuff that much, but I know like the individual components should all work for you. Hopefully that helps you out. So like, because I have those other effects going, that's why these are like sounding each different each time it like plays through, because it's like I basically made that 4-bar effect loop. So like I can kind of keep going in. You can turn off per track for those effects and stuff too. So like if I don't want, I gotta change the page. No. I thought there was a way to tell. Maybe it's this one you can't do it. I know in the brain you can. Yeah, brain you can go tell it not to do it to certain tracks. This one you can do per track effects for that stuff too. Anyway, I'll have to see about, maybe if I get some time, I'll do some videos showing how to like take the MIDI, export it, and then do some of this stuff. As I said, it shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Happy to help. I know like this stuff's, it's all expensive, and and sometimes it's hard to know like what you actually should get or work with. So I picked this up basically because I like the OPZ so much. The OPZ is a great instrument, and in fact, if you're just looking for something where you just want, if really all you want to do is export, be able to record MIDI and export it, maybe just try and get a hold of an OPZ first and mess with that and see if you like it. Because if you like the OPZ, you'll probably like all the features and enhancements that are in the OPXY. Because I mean, like, it's very, there are differences, but it's very similar. Let's see if I have it easy to find. Oh, I see the case. This is the OPZ. If you haven't seen it, if you look at it, it's actually like it's about the size of a TV remote, and they don't make them anymore as far as I've seen. You might be able to find some stores that have it new, but it's very similar where you got the 16 tracks, you've got your 2 octaves for keys. It will do, I got the line card here, but there's also the line card gets you line in, line out, MIDI in, MIDI out. So you can do quite a bit with it. And the main constraint is, I think it's only got like 64 megabytes for samples and stuff. So, but you got plenty of instruments and things you can kind of goof around with and work with. So, OPZ's definitely something I would also suggest taking a look at. This, I got a skin for it just to help document or be able to see, like looking at it, what the different effects and instruments are. So that's all kind of here. And then you got like a lot of the shortcuts that are important to know for how to work with it, because there's a lot of different stuff. There's no screen on it. You got to use either your phone or a tablet with the OPZ software, or you just memorize all this stuff. So I would say feel free to check, maybe not feel free, but like consider checking out the OPZ as well. You can probably find one around 350, 400, 450-ish space, and hopefully it's not too bent. Mine's a little, it's probably hard to see here, but it's got a little curve to it. Double triggers are probably the most annoying thing on the OPZ, but anyway, it's fun. How much time do I get left? Actually, I should probably drop. I will say, everybody, thanks for stopping by. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.